Today we are talking about the new X49 patch, and this patch came out. People were dying to try it because it promised that extra fat burning, the muscle building aspect, the hair growth possibility. And as we've talked about over and over again, there's different tools and things that you can do for all of these things. But to have a patch that does all of them, and yeah, it actually can protect you from 5G and the EMFs, which if you follow me, you know that is super important to me. And we are in a world that we are bombarded by more EMFs, and the damage that it does to the body, it scrambles your DNA. It is so detrimental. So with that, this patch is hitting so many things that we are wanting. So Heather, let's talk about what you've noticed since you've been using it and the science behind the X49.
Awesome. I would love to. So basically the X49 patch is very complementary with the X39. So most of your listeners probably know what X39 is. It's the patch that's responsible for activating GHK copper peptide, which in turn helps us make more pluripotent stem cells and activates dormant stem cells. We know stem cells are all about regeneration. I kind of view the X39 as the internal patch. So it's working on things inside. Once it's making more of those stem cells, the body prioritizes, know what those cells need to turn into, and we go from there. And so when X49 was introduced, I was like, why is this a complementary patch? Why am I wearing it with my X39? And come to find out, it is a sister peptide. So basically X49 is activating a peptide called AHK copper peptide. So not the GHK that the X39 is doing, AHK. And what happens with age is that particular peptide, along with GHK, declines with age. AHK, I'm going to just read from here because I want to make sure I'm getting all the verbiage. So AHK copper peptide is known to repair the endothelial lining. It stimulates vascular endothelial growth factor, which supports the production of new blood cells, as well as an uptick in nitric oxide. So I love nitric oxide. I actually have done a lot of research in regards to why that molecule is so important to us. It's something else that declines with age. And basically nitric oxide is needed for our cells to produce ATP. So Sarah talks about ATP and mitochondria all the time. Another thing with age that declines is our nitric oxide. So basically by the time we're 50 years old, Sarah and I are close to that, we are producing 15 to 25% of the nitric oxide needed that we did in our prime. So if AHK kind of goes in turn and gives us an uptick of this nitric oxide, we can see why it would be so important to the reverse aging process. And then the AHK is found in specialized tissues. So it's found in hair, muscle, skin. What it also is responsible for doing, it activates the replication of the development of cells called fibroblasts. And those are basically found in skin, hair follicles, and blood vessels. And as they activate these proteins that we know as elastin and collagen, which are so important to have the plumpness and reduction of wrinkles if you have good collagen and elastin production. Well, it's actually been proving, and research suggests that AHK copper peptide stimulates type 1 collagen by 300%. So go to where I am now in regards to using the X49. So I have been experimenting with it for about 4 months. The first 60 days, I actually heard that you were supposed to wear it below your knee, and that's what I did. For 60 days, I wore my X39 on the back of my neck. I didn't notice much. In fact, I noticed things actually getting a tiny bit worse. I was like, wow, I'm staying away from this patch. I sat down, did some due diligence. I mean, at that time, I really wasn't even focused on my hair because my hair had grown so much with the X39, I wasn't paying attention to what was going on with my hair. We'll get to that in a second. So I looked at the research, looked at the science behind this patch. It's definitely there. I feel like placement along with other patches plays such a huge role for me. So for the last 30 days, I've been using the X49 3 fingers below my belly button. And what has happened in 30 days has blown my mind. So I basically have lost 4.5 pounds of fat in 30 days. I have gained 4.5 pounds of muscle. My phase angle, which is a measurement of the integrity of your cell walls, it's an indicator of health, has gone up. My visceral fat went down 5.5 centimeters squared. And you have to put in perspective, I mean, working with Sarah for such a long time and clients doing her Ascent cleanse, I've seen visceral fat drop significantly in 30 days. We're talking to people that have pretty compromised immune systems. They usually have something going on. So these people come in, they do Sarah's cleanse, and in 30 days, I've seen as much as 30 centimeters squared. I actually already have low visceral fat. So the fact that mine dropped 5.5 centimeters squared in 30 days is super mind blowing to me. And that's basically what I've noticed, as far as the fat versus muscle. Little note on my hair. So the X39 with in 45 days, I noticed all these tiny little spurts, right around this area. And I was like, great. As the weeks went by, I noticed it getting longer. I'm like, oh, my hair is thicker than it was in high school. Well, now the X49, because I have been on it for about 4 months. Yesterday, I was sharing, I had my hair wrapped up in my towel. I had just washed it. I took it off, and literally hundreds of hairs, about 1.5 inches, 2 inches long, where I could just see them all over. The light was shining just perfectly behind me. And then down below, when I put my hair in a ponytail, all of these little pieces, I mean, it's not great right now, but I mean, in the end, it's great because my hair is thicker and fuller than it's ever been. So yeah, it's growing right now in different spurts, but I mean, I'm able to manage it. You can see I need to get my roots done too. But anyways, I'm stoked about the results just in this 30 days of switching things up a little bit.
Well, I'm sure having little hairs on the top of your head is a problem that most people want. And I have to say that I've noticed the same thing in my hair. And I actually had a client today who saw me and said, oh my gosh, Sarah, I can't believe how long your hair is. And she looked at me and she goes, the X49. I said, yes, because she's noticed the same thing. And I've actually been able to put on some muscle weight as well. And it is hard. Heather and I are great people to test on because we don't change much else. And we change one thing at a time. So we know what is working and what isn't. So thanks, Heather, for talking today about the X49. It is one of my very favorite patches, and I've got my family on it. Of course, everyone is wanting the benefits of it. If you have any questions, you can reach out to Heather or I and let us know how we can help you.